radio station.
Danger. It's danger.
Everybody come to the Breakfast Club. I call this the hot seat.
Y'all are wild. Can I live?
You are out of control. I can't even deal with you.
Y'all are so petty. Why are y'all so petty?
The world's most dangerous morning show. DJ Envy.
Captain of this bitch.
Angela Yee.
I stay in everybody's business, but in a good way.
Charlamagne the God.
The ruler rubbing you the wrong way.
The Breakfast Club.
Ain't for everybody. In USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ MV.
Charlamagne the God is late.
Oh, I thought he was here saying yo yo yo.
That was the recorded yo yo yo's. Just to get people
y'all fooled me
and excited and hyped.
No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't fooled.
Well, good morning.
It sounded a little janky.
Oh, it did?
Y'all got to make it a little more clear or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's Thursday.
Woo.
I mean, the weekend is almost here.
Ooh, Thursday.
The weekend is almost here. Well,
I know this weekend I'll be in Atlanta for Mary J. Blige's Strength of a Woman weekend that she's doing there.
Yeah,
so,
shout out to Pepsi. Pepsi sponsoring that, right?
Yeah, and Pepsi is sponsoring. I'll be there doing something with Pepsi tomorrow.
Okay. Well, shout out to Mary J. Blige and the whole team of Sean over there. That show sold out in like hours, so that's amazing what she's doing. I'm excited. I wish I could make it. I'm going to be in North Carolina, but I would love to see the brunches and the performances and everything that she has on the panels. It's going to be a great weekend, so if you're out in Atlanta, if you got tickets, you're going to enjoy. Now, today we got a special guest joining us. Her album comes out tomorrow. LMA will be joining us.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has a new project, so we'll kick it with her about all of that. And we got front page news coming up. What are we talking about in front page news?
Ooh, cryptocurrency. We'll tell you which state actually has moved to embrace cryptocurrency. And so this is actually really a big deal.
Okay. We'll get into all that and more. Keep it locked. This is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Sit by myself.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Last night, NBA, the Heat beat the 76ers 119-103, and the Suns beat the Mavericks 129-109. Both of those guys lead the series 2-0.
Yeah, it's a wrap for the Sixers pretty much. Joel Embiid should be back game 3, though.
Now, what else we got, Yeezy?
All right, well, the California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed an executive order, and that is for state agencies to move in tandem with the federal government. They're going to be crafting regulations for digital currencies. California, by the way, has an economy larger than all but 4 countries, and that's where much of the world's technological innovation is born. They're the first state to formally begin examining how to broadly adapt to cryptocurrency and all related innovations. So now it's going to be calling for officials to explore incorporating broader blockchain computer coding into the government operations. There's a lot of opportunities there. There's a lot of unknowns in the industry also, and that's another reason they want to start engaging early. Obviously, Silicon Valley is in California, and that's where a lot of financial innovators like PayPal and Square are there, so they should be out front in figuring out how to adapt to new technologies. According to reports, about 16% of U.S. adults have invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrencies, and the percentage is much higher among younger men. California has about 39 million residents, and their economy is about $3.1 trillion.
That's a Snapple fact I didn't know. I didn't know California had the, what you said, 4th largest economy?
An economy larger than all but 4 countries.
Wow. I did not know that.
So that's, I mean, think about it, because Silicon Valley is there. So when you think about that alone.
Right.
So I'm just saying cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. I saw Rick Ross did this live where he was trying to say, show me how somebody who's made money from this, but
yeah, I think he was talking more about the NFTs and stuff. He was asking for people that really made money on it to show it. I don't think he was talking crypto, because I mean we can see crypto clearly, but I think
there's
he was talking
definitely
NFTs.
people who have made money. There's people who were I was reading a lot of different stories of one person who was homeless and then they started selling NFTs and bought a home and now has a lot of money. It's just if you know how to use it properly.
I agree if you know how to use it properly, but I mean,
there's a lot of people.
A lot of these things aren't going to appreciate with value. That's the whole thing. You just don't know what's going to appreciate with value and what's not. So yes, people that sell it, I can tell you this is an NFT and you buy it for $500. That don't mean it's worth $500.
Well, like the guy that bought the first tweet.
Oh yes.
How much did he pay for that tweet?
Like what, $2.8 million?
Yeah, I would have never done that.
And they said it was worth what?
But see, no, but you said you would have never done that. But if somebody sells you on it and like, oh, this is NFTs and they're going to appreciate with value and you're going to make money and this and that, yada yada yada.
It was a big thing at first. This is the first tweet ever sent out.
But
people
you know, everything is a risk. If you invest in the stock market, even real estate is a risk. prices could go down. You don't know what can happen. So everything is
It ain't gonna go down
a
to what
calculated risk, and you should
that
never
tweet went down
invest
to.
more than you can afford to lose.
It ain't gonna go down to
it's
what that
hard.
tweet
I
went
would not
down.
compare NFTs to real estate.
No, that tweet went down to what?
Yeah.
$500 or $100 or something like that. No, real estate ain't gonna do that.
I mean, I know people who have had their homes foreclosed on because remember when everything was super expensive in real estate and then the prices leveled out? It was a housing bubble and then it burst.
You still gotta make smart decisions with real estate.
That's what I'm
even
saying.
now.
And the same thing, you try to make a smart decision, but nothing is guaranteed.
But
when it comes to investing, nothing is
It
guaranteed.
still be worth something. The
It'll be
dirt
worth
will still
something.
be worth something. That NFT don't have to be worth. It could be worth $1.
The problem with
That dirt will be still
NFTs
worth
is
something.
it's the value that I put on it or the value that you put on something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Real
Like,
estate is
that's-
based on the comps that's in the area.
Okay, so anyway, Live Nation is offering $25 tickets for over 75 concerts, and they're celebrating National Concert Week. So, guys, you should look that up, and that includes all fees, too, by the way. So they're giving fans the opportunity to attend over 3,700 concerts in North America, and it'll be all genres. So there's a lot of artists participating in this deal, like the Backstreet Boys, Machine Gun Kelly, Wiz Khalifa, John Legend, Earth, Wind and Fire, just a lot of
That's
different
dope.
artists. And that pre-sale actually started yesterday. So if you can get your hands on
And how
those,
much you said those tickets were?
$25 tickets.
That's
That includes
amazing.
all fees.
That's great.
All right, well, that is your front page news.
Wow. No, that's amazing because you said some artists that people will really love to see.
Yeah, it's actually 75 concerts you have to choose from, and those are some of the concerts, just a few of them.
Cool. All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. And don't forget, LMA will be joining us next hour. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
So you better have the same energy.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, what's up, M?
Hey, what up, Trav?
What's up, Yee?
Hey, boo. Hey, Trav.
What's up, Charlamagne? How you?
Peace, sis. How are you?
Hey, I want to talk about why did 50 Cent assume that man that attacked Dave Chappelle was gay?
I don't know.
He assumed that? I
What
didn't know
did
he
he say?
assumed
What
that.
did- I
When
didn't
did he
see that.
assume that?
Yeah, he posted the picture of him beat up and stuff on his Instagram. It was like, I wonder what the LGBT community got to say about this. And why did he just assume that man was gay? And why he asked us?
Well, Dave,
I think Dave-
Dave assumed he was trans.
Yeah.
Soon
Oh,
as
yeah,
that
I think he made a
happened.
joke and said it was a
I
trans,
think
it was a
Dave made
trans
that
man
joke.
that attacked him.
I'm like, man, that's like me watching a straight man rape somebody or beat a woman up, and then me posting and asking, what does a straight man think about this?
Well, no,
Well,
it's
no,
not,
I
it's-
think,
it's-
he said that was a trans man.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
right.
and it's not the same. If you had to think this is what police officers do. The first thing they want to know is the motive, right? So when you look at a situation like that, you see the crime. What would be the motive? Who would have motive to do this to Dave Chappelle? People would think the LGBTQ community because of his comments.
No, don't be asking the whole community what we think about that. That's like me seeing something and asking what the whole straight community think about something. I don't care.
Well, if you guys remember, well, all right, Trav, we'll let you vent. Get it off your chest.
I didn't even know. I didn't know 50 had, and 50 might have asked about that because remember yesterday there was a rumor going around that the guy was a member of the LGBTQ community. Remember they posted somebody's Twitter and they said this was him.
Yeah, well, not only
Or
that,
her.
but Dave made the joke, and I think people, with that joke, they thought it was real. But that's
Yeah,
what
if
I
you
think
remember,
it was.
the trans community was protesting against Dave Chappelle because of his last special.
And is the guy gay?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I
He
don't know
might.
anything about him.
50 might know something we don't know.
But I know he had a song called Dave Chappelle.
Hello, who's this?
Big chocolate to toast. What's
Oh,
up,
boy.
everybody?
Today's
Listen, two quick things. Envy, good luck with your book, pal. I checked out a little of it, and I'm proud of you. You weren't wearing your played-out Mr. T gold chain, so good luck with that, number one, all right?
Okay.
And number two, the crazy guy that attacked Dave Chappelle was wild, right?
Isaiah Lee.
I don't think he was trying to act like a Will Smith dude with a pistol. So now Charlamagne can visit him in jail and play drop the soap in the shower. What do you think?
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. He woke up this morning and thought about that.
Horrible,
Like
man.
he said, "Yo, I'm gonna call Breakfast Club and say that this morning." Like,
They gonna laugh.
He put thought into that.
It's gonna be
And then he dropped the mic.
Wow.
Hello, who's this?
What was that? This Slice Beast from New Orleans.
Slice Beast from New Orleans.
Two things off my chest. One, happy Mother's Day to my wife and my mother, my wife Griselle, my mother Debbie. And the next thing, I just did a music video with my wife, It's on my Instagram. It's called my Instagram is SLICEBEATV. The single is called Tatas. The link is in my bio.
Oh my gosh.
It's real dope.
All right, man.
Just check it out. I'm a producer. I'm just real entertaining. I'm not the best rapper, but I'm just both entertaining.
What's the song about? You said it's called Tatas?
It's called Tatas, yes.
Can
You don't know what it's about, Yee?
Yeah, can you sing the hook?
You just gotta go check it out. I'm a producer.
Okay.
You know, it's more visual.
I'm sure.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo, you heard me?
All right, you heard me.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy birthday, Natina.
Yeah, Natina. Happy birthday,
Day Natina be there?
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, happy born day, Natina.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
I'm dialing.
Hey, what you doing, man?
I'm dialing. I'm calling you.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning, Envy. How you doing?
Good morning, brother. Get it off your chest.
Good morning. Dude, I got to shout you and Gia Casey on Real Life, Real Love, an amazing book. Everybody's talking about it. Like, you two are an actual inspiration for what ideal relationships should be, and I'm just happy that y'all are together.
Oh, thank you, brother. I mean, the support and the amount of feedback and love that we got for the book is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first book, so I don't really know some of the lists, but the publishing company told me we made another list yesterday. I don't know what list it was published. I have no idea, but it wasn't about that.
Top 10. Nobody can say anything from now on. Y'all made top 10. Y'all did it.
Yeah, we didn't do it for that. Like I said, we actually did it to help people. And if I tell you the amount of emails and DMs of people that have open conversations in their relationships, that was the reason why we did it. So I want to say thank you to everybody that went out and purchased the book or got the Audible or that still ordered the book. It's really just humbling, and thank you. If you haven't got the book, definitely pick it up. Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, or wherever you buy your books. Just Real Life, Real Love. And hopefully it'll help you in your relationship do things that I shouldn't have did, or maybe guide you to things that we did.
Mm-hmm.
What was the best chapter for you? What chapter resonated with you the best?
Oh, I'm still reading Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health that Charlamagne sent me.
Dr. Rita Walker.
Dr. Rita Walker, my apologies. Yes. Thank you so much, Charlamagne, for sending me the book. That really changed my life. My name is Mide, by the way. Y'all keep getting my name wrong. Mide.
Is your name Olamide?
Yes, sir. Yes, Olamide. Yeah, I'm Nigerian.
Hey, Olamide.
Olamide. Thank you, Olamide. Hello, who's this?
This is Marcus.
Marcus, good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God, DJ
Peace, King.
Good
morning, sir.
I got a problem. My friend, my best friend, he owns a flower shop in Houston, in Louisiana, and he give me flowers for free. But when I send flowers to women and they finally get to know me and find out I get them for free, they don't really appreciate it because I'm getting it for free. Is that cool?
How did they know you getting them for free?
Yeah, why are you telling them you're getting it for free?
I know, because they find out he's my best friend later on. They be like,
Just say I still pay for him.
Exactly.
You can still pay for him.
You don't pay your friends?
No, he's my best friend. I've been helping him. He's a good guy. His name Eddie. He does flowers for he done D Bando and Houston flowers. He done Lil Snoop funeral, D Bando funeral. His name is Flowers by Filson.
My point is you don't have to tell people you're not paying for the flowers.
Nobody would know.
I don't really tell them. It's just like when they I don't know, man. It's like they put two and two together. And
I don't believe that. I think you just think that.
It's not really from the heart.
Well, start paying.
It's not really from the heart.
Start paying your friend then just because. Start giving them some money every time you get flowers just because.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm serious.
Ooh, and it's crazy. It shouldn't even matter. It's from the heart. It don't matter if I pay or not.
Well, clearly it matters to you because you calling us this morning to vent about it.
Yeah, and you didn't have to tell nobody, and there's no reason that you should even have a conversation. If they ask you, did you get them free for your man? No, I pay for him. I support my friends.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
You got other things to worry about than that, bro.
Make sure y'all check him out, man. Like I said, he's on Facebook. Good guy. Flowers by Filson.
All right, brother.
Good guy, man. Y'all have a...
Yes, sir. I feel like he just got a bunch of more free flowers with that shout out.
Absolutely. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Now we got rumors on the way?
Yes, and let's talk about Drake. We'll tell you about how he slid in this man's wife's DMs and why.
He plays a dirty game. All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Drake.
It's time. She's spilling the tea.
This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
All right, well, Drake clapped back at a troll, and this was on social media, and that's because this person said something about his child. Now, it was a post, T. Morant is approaching LeVar Ball levels of annoyance. And somebody said these dudes are annoying. Some of the comments I've been seeing on multiple posts talking down on LeVar T. and Carl Towns Sr., I don't think it's really up to the world to criticize how a positive father shows up in his son's life. Now, Drake commented, imagine your son makes the league and he's Ja or Melo or Lonzo. All you can do is be elevated and competitive and over-supportive, and it's a rite of passage to that. The OGs talk ish. I know I'm going to be this way even if my son is in a Rubik's Cube competition. And then somebody on Instagram commented to Drake, your son probably played with ghostwriters. And then Drake responded, I just followed your girl because she's probably miserable and needs some excitement in her life. And he really did follow her. And then the woman, Tony, posted, my husband decides to be a troll, and now Drake thinking I need excitement in my life. And then he posted, the husband, oh, nah, fool really DM my wife. And then he put the laughing, crying emoji. And Drake had written to her, I'm here for you, ma. And he really followed her.
It's justified. You don't talk about people's kids. Like, you get what you earned. He earned that.
Yeah, he did.
Now what?
You earned that. Not Drake, you play with my heart, I'm going to play with yours.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at and what Drake said is absolutely positively right. If you got kids that do anything, that's why me and Chris Rock got into it that time when my daughter was playing basketball. Like, we're competitive as parents.
You ain't slap Chris, though.
No, I'm not gonna go that far. Why you gotta go that far?
He's just gonna yell and go crazy for his child.
Go crazy for my child.
And we will clap back at you on social media too.
I ain't gonna slap nobody, but
yeah, it is kind of.
Same thing with Logan when he plays football. I'm out there with the parents, arguing with the parents too.
Yeah, it is strange to tell a parent not to be excited for their child, because that's essentially what you're saying. Like, why you gotta be so overly excited for your child? Mm-hmm. Like, shut up. Then do you have kids? I'd like to know. Probably not, because if you did, you would understand.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now Cat Williams is returning to Netflix with a new comedy special, World War III, and that will be dropping May 17th. That's really soon. So it'll be the second special to appear from him on that streaming service after he dropped his Great America special back in 2018. He's also the executive producer and the director for it. So congratulations to him on that.
Okay, definitely tuning into that.
Man, I wish I went to the Netflix is a Joke festival. That actually ends May 8th. That's been going on since April 28th. That's where we just saw Dave Chappelle get attacked on stage. All right, Keisha Cole had to go to the ER after suffering anxiety attacks. She said, I'm so proud of getting a few hours sleep. Literally have been getting none, so not okay, SMH, and have been having the worst anxiety attacks where I can literally feel my heart hurting. Had to take my ass to the emergency room. They gave me damn medicine for anxiety. I don't know what the F was happening to me.
Well, salute to Keisha Cole, sending her healing energy. She
had a rough year. She lost her mom, her father, and her dog. You know, her mother died of an accidental overdose on her birthday on July 18, 2021. Then after that, her adopted father, Leon Cole, passed away due to COVID complications. And then her dog, Lola, who was 14 years old, was her best friend for the past 14 years, passed away last year as well on December 1st.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's the worst feeling in the world when you're having that anxiety attack and you feel like you're having a heart attack and it just comes out of nowhere. And then when you go to the doctor and they tell you that your heart is fine, and you're like, what? How? That's a terrible feeling. So salute to Keisha Cole, definitely sending her healing energy.
All right, Janae Aiko has been named the Mental Health is Health Month Ambassador in Los Angeles. You know, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and here is what she had to say.
I didn't know about therapy. I didn't know a lot about mental illness or depression or anxiety. And I just found that turning my pain and suffering into some form of art, transforming it into art, really helped me get through it. And so when I started to share that music and poetry with others and saw the response, the reason why I do what I do is to help others get through what they're going through.
Man.
So her writing and doing music is her personal therapy to help her get through things.
Best investment you could ever make in yourself is investing in your mental wealth. Therapy, you know, sacred purpose coaches, just going on a journey of healing is absolutely the best investment you could make.
All right, now SZA, in the meantime, has deleted her TikTok for Mental Health Awareness Month. She announced, I deleted my TikTok for Mental Health Awareness Month. I encourage everyone to delete anything, anyone, and everything that doesn't serve you. Bless.
Just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
We all be in verbally abusive relationships with our smartphones for no damn reason.
All right, and the
I'll let you
Island
talk to me like
Boys may have an opportunity to fight on a boxing reality show called Ultimate Social Boxing. They'll pit 32 social media stars against one another as they attempt to fight their way to the top, and the winner will get $1 million. Of course, they blew up after we heard this song, I'm an Island. You see what they've been up to. They've been boxing a lot over the past year and showing off their skills on social media, doing all of that. So
they might have to fight each other then, right?
I don't know about that.
Because
if they get to the top together, but they'll probably split them up.
Hey, I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I would absolutely, positively, 100% bet against them to lose in the first couple of fights. Okay, absolutely.
Well, it depends on who they're fighting.
Nope, it does not. I bet against them. I would bet against them.
Who are some of the people? Like, is it?
We don't know yet. They haven't locked in the names yet, but. You know, it's actually Rob Ellen, the brother of Entourage creator Doug Ellen, that is the founder of Live One. That's going to be doing these boxing events.
So it's like A-Town, Island Boys.
A-Town? Where A-Town come from?
He just made that up.
I'm just making
They just started
reality
casting.
stars. I'm just naming all the reality stars.
A-Town's a reality star?
What is it then?
I ain't even heard it from A-Town in so long.
Social media
A social media star. That's A-Town.
Oh.
He's a social media star.
Okay.
Trying to think who else would be.
Remember A-Town was running on a treadmill?
Yeah, he might be right.
He was working out. All right, well, that is your rumor report.
Who else would be in that category?
I mean, there's a lot of social media stars now.
What about, what's his name? JJ Ice?
Oh, y'all think social media stars have definitely, it's way more than the Ice JJ Fishers and the A-Towns of the world.
I'm just saying, but that would be good to watch.
I would watch that. I would definitely watch that. All right. Front page news next. What we talking about?
All right. Well, the owner of TurboTax, Intuit, has to pay $141 million to customers who they unfairly charged. We'll tell you about that.
All right. We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Angela Yee here for my friends at the General Insurance. Switch to the General and you could save over $500 on your car insurance. Call 800-GENERAL or visit thegeneral.com to find out more. The General Auto Insurance Services, Inc., an insurance agency in Nashville, Tennessee. Some restrictions apply.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, last night, Heat beat the 76ers 119-103. The Suns beat the Mavericks 129-109.
I know, man. Look like James Harden gonna make that little baby Chris Brown tour. When the first date is?
Shut up.
When's the first date?
Shut up, man.
James gonna be there.
What else we got, Yee?
All right, Intuit, they're the company that owns TurboTax. They have agreed to pay $141 million in restitution to 4.4 million low-income customers. They were charged for using the TurboTax free edition, according to an announcement on Wednesday, these customers should have gotten the tax filing services for free. And so people will be getting about $30 each year that they use the software. So they had two free versions of TurboTax. One was through the IRS Free File program that lets low-income Americans file their taxes for free. And then they had another version, the TurboTax Free Edition, that they marketed as free, but it's only free for taxpayers with simple returns as defined by Intuit, according to the announcement. If you don't have a simple return, you had to upgrade to a paid version of the tax service. But those individuals, however, may have been eligible for the IRS Free File program. So that's why.
How did they break that down?
It's going to be $30 per year per person that actually deserves restitution for having to pay for services that should have been free.
$30 per year per person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of people used it, clearly. So it's about 4.4 million customers that actually used the free edition during the tax years of 2016 through 2018. So they were eligible for it to be free, to file for free, but instead they were charged. All right, now a 4-day controversial event that offers unlimited sex and alcohol is back. And it's been almost a year since it returned following the COVID lockdown. It's organized by the Good Girl Company. So basically, it's at a Las Vegas resort, and you get unlimited sex without a condom and all kinds of sexual activities, including strip blackjack, horseback riding, and a holographic concert. And according to the event company, they said, we're a company dedicated exclusively to entertainment for men, but it is couple friendly, and you can definitely come with your husband, boyfriend, or partner. So the way that they do this erotic show, they sell 50 tickets for 50 guests. Each ticket includes an unlimited amount of sex during the 4-day trip. You have to pay $5,000. They said all the girls are STD free. They offer on-site and immediate HIV and STD testing if required. And so some people said that they've done it previously and they thought it was an amazing experience. One person said he did it for his private bachelor party for him and his friends. Another person said visiting Sex Island has brought back that spark me and my wife were missing in our relationship. Another person said everyone was so sweet, but clearly a lot of people are disgusted by it and call it creepy and disgusting.
So it's STD free, but what if it's BYO-STD? What if people bring their own STD to the function?
Well, they test everybody before they get there. That's what
they said the girls are all tested, and they also have testing on site.
I'm talking about the people that are coming to...
Yeah, you get tested.
You get tested.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust that. Sounds nasty to me.
I mean, that's definitely not something I'm into, but clearly some people are.
I'm sure they are. I mean, it's a great promotional tool. Free sex!
They said it's weed, unlimited alcohol, and sex without a condom.
I just cannot believe that there are no STDs in the building whatsoever. Not one. I refuse to believe that.
If one person gets it, they might all get it. Well, hopefully they have COVID testing as well. All right. Well,
that's the least of your worries at a function like that.
Yeesh.
That is your front page news.
If I walk away sneezing and coughing, that's cool. I won.
My goodness.
Jesus.
All right. When we come back, Ella May will be joining us. She has an album that's out tomorrow, so we're going to kick it with Ella May when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Power 105.1. The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Ella May. Woo! Welcome back.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am blessed, black, and highly favored. I want the real answer though. After the pandemic, I said when I ask somebody how are they, I want to know how they really feel. What's your energy like?
I'm really great.
Okay.
Dead serious. I'm actually really great. It's early, so I'm as great as can be in this hour of the morning. But I'm really great. How are you?
I'm saying blessed, black, and highly favored.
That's what he says. That's the only answer you're going to get. So now you recorded this new album. Did you record it here in the States or did you record it in London?
I did. I recorded it in the States. The 2 years of the pandemic, I wasn't able to go home. I wasn't able to go back to London.
Stuck.
Yeah, because I was in the process of getting my green card. So if I would have left, I wouldn't have been able to get back in. So I didn't see my family for 2 years.
Wow.
And I was recording the album, but it helped me really focus because I couldn't move, obviously. So, yeah.
Psychologically, how was that though? Because that was a time when none of us knew what to expect. We never had experienced that, so you want to be around your circle. How was that not to be able to go home?
To be fair, it wasn't as hard as I think it seems for me personally. Like I've been away from my family for quite a while, but I am used to going home normally. But I feel like with the team that I have around me, they feel like my family. So it wasn't as hard as opposed to like me being in LA by myself and not having anyone. I feel like that would have been super hard. But I still had great people around me. So, and I feel like FaceTime makes everything a lot easier because you don't feel as far or disconnected. So it wasn't super, super hard. I definitely did have moments where I was like, damn, I really wish I could like see my mom, see my brother, see my grandma. But, once we did finally see each other, the reunion was amazing. So
gotcha.
All right.
Now let's talk about the evolution. That's what they're saying this project is an evolution, a difference between the last project and this project. So talk about that a little bit.
When I was recording my debut album, I was like 21, 22, put it out when I was 23, almost 24. I'm 27 now. So it's been a while. It's been 4 years. And I toured for the whole of 2019. And 2020 was supposed to be the recording year for me anyway. So that didn't really change much. But with the pandemic, everything was so stop-start. I like really found it hard to find a rhythm at first. But once I found it and like really kind of like prepared myself for what I wanted to say and what I wanted to sound like, and just the experiences, I think, of being like the difference between being a 23-year-old woman and being a 27-year-old woman, there's like a big difference. And everything that I like experienced in my career, I feel like just kind of gave me a clearer view on like who I am as an artist as opposed to when I was recording my debut album and really kind of like trying to figure it out.
What'd you tap into? The name of the album is Heart on My Sleeve.
Yes.
So what did you tap into to start wearing your heart on your sleeve?
They said you were in a relationship during that time. I don't know if you still are, but they said you were in a relationship.
Yeah, I think it was really just my life in real time. I think with my debut album, it was a lot of, like I said, figuring out and like it was personal, but it wasn't as personal as this project. Like I was really, really invested in this project. And I'm a Scorpio, so we have really hard exteriors. But on the inside, we're really passionate. We're really like intense people. And when we care, we really care a lot. And I feel like in situations that I'm in, I do wear my heart on my sleeve. So that was the perfect album title for me, honestly. It's just way more honest and emotional, I would say, than my debut album.
How did you decide what you were going to put in there? Like, was there something about your relationship you said, I'm going to put this in there, but I'm not going to put this in about it? Or did you say, you know what, everything's on the table, I'm going to be an open book? How did you decide?
I don't think it was a conscious effort to be like, okay, cool, I need to write about this, and I need to write about this, and I need to write about this. It was really just like what I was feeling on the day, and then whatever came out. And then I made almost 80 songs in this album process, and we narrowed it down to 15. So that process was a lot harder when like trying to figure out what to put in. But like as opposed to recording, I was just going in and really saying what was on my heart. And I don't think there was anything that I was trying to hide. It wasn't like a bad situation. I'm super grateful for it. So like I was just recording whatever I felt, what was on my heart.
Yeah, but you're saying a lot by putting out the first single called Don't F Me Up. So either clearly somebody f***ed you up, or you just giving them a warning. Are you been f***ed up before and you telling this new person don't f*** me up?
Yeah. I think it's more so just like being in a situation where you understand how deep and how invested you are. And if it does go left, because anything can happen, you never know, it's like that's a scary feeling. So it's really me saying like, don't let me down. Like we know where we are. We know where it can go on both ends of the spectrum, positive and negative. And I feel like this is what we spoke about last time I was here too, like taking the good with the bad. So yeah, it's really just more of like I wouldn't even say a warning, because people are going to do what they want to do regardless, but more so just me saying like, okay, I'm here, I'm invested, and I just don't want you to let me down.
So you have that conversation when you're dating somebody? Like when you first start off, you'd be like, look, don't f me up. Like
100%.
Immediately.
I don't know if I would say I don't know if I would say like don't f me up, but I would definitely be like, look, this is what it is. Like I'm very open, I feel like, in relationships. So I would just be like, I have obviously certain expectations for the person that I'm with, as they should have the same for me, you know, like it's reciprocated. And I'm just kind of like, look, I'm here, so don't let me down.
What are the expectations that LMA has?
Just, I think emotional intelligence these days is not at an all-time high, unfortunately.
I said that. I literally said that this morning.
Really?
I said emotional intelligence is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
I said that verbatim.
Yeah, it's not. We're in a weird space, I feel like. And I like to think of myself as someone who is emotionally intelligent. Still working on it, obviously, but so I think I'm very in tune with my emotions, and not a lot of people that I've come across are. So I think really just kind of, I don't know, it's tricky. Definitely reciprocate energy. Like I need back what I'm giving to you 100%. And I'm not really trying to force any situation at this point in my life. I feel like when I was younger, I was saying to my friends the other day, actually, like when you're younger, there's a lot of stuff that you don't actually care about. It's just like, oh, I'm in this relationship and I'm so in love and blah, blah, blah. And like all of the other stuff is just minimal and you don't pay attention to it. But when you get a little bit older and you realize like what you will and won't put up with, things start to get like a little bit more serious. So I think definitely reciprocate energy would be one. Communication, but also understanding, because communication, everyone says like communication is key, but like if we're communicating but we're not, like we can communicate and we can have a conversation, but it doesn't mean we're understanding each other.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So like if I had to pick two of the top, I'd say reciprocate energy and communication with understanding.
I don't even know this generation, and when I say generation, I don't even mean an age thing. I just don't know if this generation of laptops and smartphones even knows how to really communicate. Because you know you got to be able to look somebody in the eye, talk, read body language, knowing somebody's being sarcastic, knowing somebody's joking. Like I don't know if people really know how to communicate no more.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, I feel like the pandemic made it a little bit worse, but obviously no one's fault. But because everyone was in the house for so long, like behind your phone or behind your computer, or even like being able to work remotely, like not having to actually physically interact with people, it like when it was time to go back outside, it was almost like a little bit uncomfortable. And I'm not socially awkward at all. I'm quite an outgoing person, but even I felt myself like, oh, like I haven't done this in a while. Let me like kind of readjust.
Like humans.
Yeah, I know, it's so weird that we've done this our whole life.
Yeah.
And then 2 years go by of it not happening, and then it's like, oh, this is kind of weird. So yeah, I just want to be able to communicate with understanding and have reciprocated energy.
All right, we got more with LMA when we come back. Let's get into her single, DFMU. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. That was DFMU, LMA. Her album comes out tomorrow morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with LMA. Charlamagne?
Do you feel pressured to get another boot up? Or
you know, I knew you was going to ask me this. I knew you was going to ask me this question.
Records.
They were.
Mm-hmm.
They were. I don't feel pressured.
And I'm sure the label's like, we want another boot up.
I mean, I'm sure. I would love to have another boot up. I guess in terms of
success,
what it did. Yeah. But like, and I think this is another thing that we spoke about last time too. Like, I understand what I'm capable of, and I'm not putting pressure on myself to say if I don't have a boot up on this album, then I'm not successful. Like, boot up was quite an anomaly, honestly, and Trip obviously being the follow-up was amazing. And I think whatever happens with this album, or even in my career, we can never take away what boot up did. And I'm sure I have many more, honestly. They just won't look like boot up, maybe, but that doesn't mean, you know, success is relative. So like,
yeah, I wonder how the label reacts to that, because you could make a great body of work, which I'm sure it is a great body of work, but then it's just like, okay, well, where is the boot up record?
Where's the streaming record?
Where's this?
You know what's weird? I feel like with streaming and with the internet, obviously labels want to make their money, so that's like, of course. But I feel like it's not as like, I feel like hit records, quote unquote, aren't the driving force anymore, because something can become a hit that like nobody knew about. Like Boot Up. Boot Up was out for a year before anything happened. I haven't had anyone specifically say to me, where's the boot up, where's the trip, there's nothing on here, whatever. I have like a great relationship with my label, luckily. And I think everyone's just super excited to hear the difference, because it's still me, but it's like you said, it's like an elevated version, and we'll see what comes from it. It like, yeah.
How vulnerable do you want to be in the music? Because, you know, when you listen to R&B music, the best R&B music most of the times is when people are spilling their soul and spilling their guts.
Yeah.
So how
bleed on them records.
I dug quite deep, I will say, in this album. It was quite hard at times, because I was like we were talking about earlier, I was like, you know, like this is definitely a different side of me, because I'm quite reserved, as everyone knows. People don't really know much about me, so I definitely feel like I gave way more of myself to this album. But I felt like it was right. Like I said, it was what was on my heart, and it was what I wanted to say. And all of the music that I grew up listening to was like super honest and super raw, and I was just like why wouldn't I? This is what I'm going through. This is what I want to speak about. So was there any record that you said, maybe we shouldn't put this one, it's just a little too vulnerable? No, there's like a super, super vulnerable ballad on there that I definitely thought twice about, but not in terms of putting it on the album. It's called Hide. I was just like, okay, this is quite different, and I think people will definitely be surprised, but I love the song, and I love exactly how it makes me feel. It takes me back to like that time, how I felt when I recorded it. Now, we don't know your dating situation, but did you ever have to go back and say, let me call this person and let them know what I'm singing about, so they just won't be surprised when they hear the record? No, I don't I'm not on there dragging someone. I'm not saying that's not somebody. That's something that could be open. No, I don't feel like it was necessary. I think all of I'm a lover girl, and a lot of the album they are love songs, and yeah, I don't think it will be a surprise at all. Yeah.
You have a song called Not Another Love Song.
I do.
What's that about?
Not Another Love Song is really just, it's kind of a play on the fact that I make love songs, and it's just like, okay, cool, she made another love song, because it really is another love song. And it's really just about like being at the stage of like where you're falling in love and you want to tell the person, but you don't know if it's too soon or if you're going to mess it up or if they feel the same way. And I feel like I've been in that situation quite a lot. And I just love the beat. It's produced by Boy Wonder, Jahan Sweet, and the Rascals.
Jahan!
Yes.
It's my guy.
Yeah, so it was just a really fun record to make.
A lot of the songs are very direct, especially with the titles, like Break My Heart, Leave You Alone, Sink or Swim.
You're so dramatic.
I'm just saying.
That was a movie, boys.
Those are very like direct. Like what was the meaning behind all of those? You just wanted to let them know this is exactly what I'm feeling. Yeah, and really, like, honestly and truly, that really is just me. I'm a very like black and white person. As I've got older, I've realized that there's a lot more gray area in life. I've always seen it as very it's this way or it's that way or it's no way. And obviously, I understand now that is not how life works. But I'm quite a direct person, and I think when I'm feeling something, like I said earlier, I'm going to tell you how I feel, regardless of whether I feel, like with Not Another Love Song, regardless of whether I feel you feel the same way or not. I'm just like, what do I have to lose? I mean,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now there was rumors that you were a Boston Celtics fan.
Oh, really?
Yes, they said that you were a Boston Celtics fan and possibly dating a Boston Celtic. Is that any truth to that?
Where you get all this from?
I want to know where you got that from too.
It's Google. When you type in LMA, her picture.
Really?
Yes. You want to say?
Oh, no, I'm a basketball fan. Definitely, I'm definitely a basketball fan. But
you got a bonus track on the album called Celtic Pride.
I definitely don't. There's 15 songs. There's no bonus track.
Is that? Do you really?
Do I have? No, I don't. No. You know I'm not one to talk about my dating life, but I didn't actually know that when you type that in Google that comes up.
No,
so.
really?
I don't Google myself, you know.
No, you drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, I feel like that's very dangerous territory. So I'm like, I'll just stay away from Google.
I like what you told Complex too. You said people get it confused, like a strong woman can't be vulnerable, and that narrative doesn't correlate for you at all. What made you come to that conclusion?
Just life, like life lessons. I feel like being emotional there's a negative connotation to the word emotional, and people think that's like a negative thing, when I don't necessarily think it's a negative thing. Like I feel like we were saying, emotional intelligence, like that's quite hard to obtain.
Absolutely.
I think you have to be a certain kind of person to put your feelings on the line, or like be emotionally intelligent, especially if you're dealing with someone that you feel like isn't super emotional. And being a strong woman, I feel like you have to come across as this like, nothing will break me, and that's not necessarily the case. That doesn't something will break you. We're human, whether you're a man or a woman.
That's right.
And I think just kind of really just trying to control the narrative and show that there are all different sides of a strong woman. It doesn't just necessarily mean that it doesn't matter what you throw at me, I'm not gonna break. I might, but I'll pick myself back up. And that's really how I feel about it.
What's the biggest takeaway you want people to get from this album?
Honesty.
Yeah,
honesty. And like I said, I feel like I dug a little bit deeper, and I think people will know me a little bit more by listening to this album. But yeah, just really, really, really just honesty, and just what I've been through in the last 4 years. I know it's been a while. Everyone's like, where have you been? Do you still make music? I'm like, yeah, I've been working on the music, but you know me, I'm like, I'll rather duck off in my corner and make my music and come back when I know it's ready. I'm definitely like a quality over quantity type of person. So
I respect that, because we live in this microwavable era. Like, people get mad at somebody like a Kendrick when they go away. It's like, that's what you're supposed to do. That's how albums used to be. You put out a great body of work, and you make people wait. Nowadays,
wait, so are you talking about me personally, or are you talking about anyone in general? Because you said great body of work. Last time I was here, you said, sounds like a playlist to me. And I was like, but the playlist is good because that's what you put together.
Don't listen to me. I just be talking sometimes. but even taking that time to wait is dope. Like,
thank you.
To go cook something up that really means something.
Yeah, I feel like, especially like you said, we live in a world that's like, we're super oversaturated with just everything gets thrown at us. There's so much information to take in on a daily. It's like, how do we even actually function when you really think about it? And I just remember when I was growing up, I used to be like hungry for Beyonce or Destiny's Child to drop a new album, or, you know, like especially in R&B music, like it's very different to rap music. And I think people kind of forget that because we live in a streaming era, and we just like, our attention spans are very, very short nowadays. And there's also so much to listen to. So I think people feel like you can get forgotten easily. But I think if you take your time and you work on something that is quality, when you come back, it doesn't matter whether you've been gone for 2 years or whether you've been gone for 5 or 6, 10, whatever. I think the music will speak for itself if it's good enough.
All right, we got more with LMA when we come back. Don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with LMA. You know, when you hear other artists, is that your competitive nature, does that make you want to put out a song? Like when you hear a new R&B song and be like, damn, I want to get back out there. Or when you hear the songs in the Grammys, or does music give you that competitive drive?
I wouldn't necessarily say it as a competitive drive, so I feel like that makes it seem negative almost.
That doesn't have to be negative.
No?
Competing? I don't think so.
I don't know, because you know how things can get like misconstrued very easily. But I think
inspiration, I would call it.
Yeah, definitely. But I also like I love the place, and I know this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I love the place that R&B is in, like female and male. And no, it's not 90s R&B, but like I always say, I feel like R&B is the one genre that like is the narrative is always like, why can't we go back to 90s R&B? And I don't feel like any other genre ever gets that. I don't feel like anyone asks us to go back to the 60s or the 80s or in any other genre. And I think just the way R&B music is made these days, even just equipment wise, it's never going to be the same. Everything sounds a lot cleaner than it did back then just because of technology. And I think that's something that's not even, that people aren't even aware of. I love the space that R&B is in, and I was really happy. I'm really happy to watch award shows and performances or see other R&B artists flourishing. It's amazing, and I think when my time is here, it will be here. I don't feel like it's like, oh, I need to put something out now because somebody else is taking off. Like, no, there's space for all of us.
That's unfair to y'all generation too, because most of the people that's saying let's go back to 90s R&B grew up in that era. So it's always experiences attached to music, right?
100%. Yeah.
That first time you went to prom, that first girl you kissed, that dance on the floor in high school.
What song? Sorry to cut you off. What song reminds you of the first girl you kissed?
Aaliyah 4-page letter. Because I had that on
Did you write one?
No, well, that too, but I had that on a 90-minute cassette tape.
Oh, wow.
And I had that one song playing for 90 minutes. And like I've been
just over and over.
Over and over. And me and my wife been together for 24 years. So when we was young, that was that tape.
Was the song.
Yeah. So that's Aaliyah 4-page letter, boy.
But I was also going to say, though, back in the 90s and 2000s, R&B played more on the radio. It was part of rhythm hip hop. Now
absolutely.
If it's an R&B song, they try to do Urban AC, like they're not fair with.
And all the rappers singing too.
Yeah.
So when you got all the rappers singing, it kind of f's up the playlist on the radio.
Yeah.
For the real R&B singers.
Yeah, it's definitely way different nowadays. But I do think that
they try to put y'all on the old stations, go Urban AC. But
I know.
That's not fair because it's dope music.
But it's still, listen, I'm appreciative for anywhere that they put me. I could be nowhere. So like I'm appreciative, and I feel like there's still an audience regardless. But yeah, I think it's just different. It's just a different time that we're in. And I do feel like, though, that a lot of us that make R&B music these days are really inspired, like you were saying, or grew up on 90s R&B. So I do feel like you can hear inspiration in it. It might not be exactly the same. But for the generation that is growing up right now, and in 20 years when they look back, this, our music, not even just R&B music, but rap, anything, rock, country, anything, this will be the music that feels nostalgic to them because this is what they grew up on. Right. So I feel like we just have to just let it live. You don't have to listen, do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Like I feel like I always find it weird that like people online, I'm just not the type of person, even before I was famous or anything, if I don't like something, I'll keep scrolling. Like I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, this is not what I grew up on. You know what I mean? I think that's weird behavior.
Definitely.
But I do understand it's the internet. So
you 27, so you was born in the late 1900s. We were born like 1900s. We were born like mid 1900s.
So. You were not born in the mid 1900s.
What?
No, what year were you born?
1978. That's the 1900s.
That's closer to the
1950 is the mid 1900s.
Well, still, it feels like mid 1900s.
I guess you're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right in the middle of the mid 1900s and.
You closer to the 2000s.
100%. I was born in 94.
So what 90s R&B would you consider like your era?
Well, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is my favorite album.
Okay.
And that actually came out in 94, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, it was a little later. Like 98.
Was it?
No,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like 98. The only reason I remember that is because like when my mom was going through a divorce, she used to play damn X Factor over and over.
Not you spilling all of your mom's tea.
I know, right?
I mean, I wrote a book about it, but no, I mean, like we talk about memories connected to songs. I used to think that song was. I was like, oh, mom's so cool. She listening to Lauryn Hill, but then I got older. You realized she was going through certain things. You know what I mean?
What year does it say?
98.
98.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good year for everything.
Well, my mom used to listen to The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill religiously, so I feel like
Who
you're talking
broke her
about. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would love to know, but she loved that album, and she had the tape that went into the car. I remember
the tape that went into the car.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Went into the car.
I was born in 94, guys.
Goodness gracious.
Cars used to take tapes.
Yeah, they had cassette. They had, and then you could take it. Okay. I was just like,
she said you could take the radio out.
You could. So nobody would steal it.
Absolutely.
Like I still have a little bit of. I feel like the timing that I grew up in was really.
Did your mom have a club on the car too, like the club that?
So no one can drive away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I knew that.
Yeah,
that was all for guys like me back then.
I feel like I grew up in the time. I feel like I grew up in the time where I understand like dial-up internet and like you couldn't be on the phone and the internet at the same time.
Yes.
But then I also grew up in the social media age. Like I'm right. I feel like I'm right in the middle. So yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot.
You was born in the late 1900s. I was just asking what music.
Why do you like to say that? What music? What music I like? Sorry, what music I like? Yeah. So Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is definitely my favorite. But I would say all of Brandy, Mariah Carey, Destiny's Child, Beyonce, all of that stuff. Alicia Keys, Mary J. Blige is one of my faves. And then even early 2000s R&B. Like I feel like when B2K were popping and like that type of thing, and that was when I first moved to New York. So I remember going to like Madison Square Garden, Scream tour.
Wow.
But like, yeah, it was, I was in my house of Derry on jeans. Like it was definitely, it was like, that's the stuff that makes me excited when I think about it.
Who was on your Mount Rushmore of R&B artists then?
Oh, there's 4 people on Mount Rushmore, right?
Yep.
So I definitely have to put Lauryn Hill there, even though I know she is
both.
She's but she has to be there. Mary has to be there.
Yes.
Now let me ask you, Lauryn Hill, even though she only put out 1 album.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I stick by that. I'd put Stevie Wonder there because I know people might not necessarily classify him as just an R&B artist. I feel like there's a lot of different genres that he taps into, but I think he definitely has to be there. And can we like split the face so I can have 2?
If they're in a group.
If they're not
in a group, no.
But what two do you have?
Can we do that with Outkast?
Beyonce, for sure. I think she deserves to be there, but I also feel like Mariah Carey deserves to be there too.
Gotta pick one.
I don't like that split. I don't like Beyonce and Mariah split together.
No?
No, they both deserve their own individual
100%, which is why I asked, but you told me I could only pick 4. I could sit here and list 100 people, honestly. It's very hard, but
that's a tough one.
Now you're going to make me pick between Mariah Carey and Beyonce, and I'm not going to do that.
You're not gonna do
I'm
that.
absolutely not going to do
But
that.
does Mariah fall under traditional R&B? Because she makes a lot of pop records
music.
too. Yeah.
But she makes R&B as well.
But she does,
I guess we say that about Beyonce
makes
too.
pop music too, yeah. I think once you get to a certain, like, stage, you're just classified as a pop artist anyway, regardless of even if you tap into a whole bunch of different genres. But I didn't even put Brandy there because Brandy's like the vocal Bible when it comes to R&B. I personally feel like harmonies and just like, I don't know. We're gonna have to create some more faces on this Mount Rushmore.
Stevie Wonder's a great one. People sleep on Stevie Wonder. Like
I love Stevie Wonder.
He's the last. I think the last of a dying breed, like the last great living musician.
Yeah, I got to sing with him in 2000, I think it was the ending of 2018. He does like this Christmas show, and I got to sing. I sung "Booed Up," and then I also sung "Superstitious" with him. And
wow,
yeah, it was like I just felt like what is going on? I was really happy. Yeah, it was amazing. It was in LA.
Did he call you for that? How did that happen?
Did he FaceTime you or did he call you?
He did. Yes, he did. He did call me. My manager knows his daughter very well, and his daughter handles a lot of his like relations. So they did. Yeah, they called me, and I was on the phone with him. And I remember, I think I was in rehearsal, and I was just like, my manager was like, "Someone's on the phone for you." So I'm like, "Who?" Because he never would really ever stop my rehearsals. So I'm like, "Who's on the phone for me?" He's like, "Just pick it up." And I started speaking, and I'm like, "Hello, hello," and he's like, "Hey Ella, this is Stevie Wonder." And I'm like, wait, hold on. I literally had to, and I looked at my manager like, is this a prank? Because I didn't believe it. And then I had a great conversation with him. He told me how much he loved Booed Up, and that he wanted me to sing. And then I went to rehearse with him for the show, and then we did it. He brings out like a bunch of different people at the Christmas show. It's like a charity for his foundation. So yeah.
You know, he really be FaceTiming people.
I believe it.
Yeah, who was it, Corday? It was somebody that said he got a FaceTime for Steve. It was Corday? He be FaceTiming people.
And then he jumped up.
Yeah, he acted like he was acted like he was up. He's like, "Yo, I'm ready to work" or something. Yeah. So he acted like he was up.
Yeah, FaceTime.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I mean, what? Yeah.
Heart on My Sleeve, out May 6th.
That's right, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's LMA. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Listen up.
This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report.
Gossip.
With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, now there is more information on the person who attacked Dave Chappelle on stage at the Hollywood Bowl as he performed on Tuesday night. Now, the man has been identified as 23-year-old Isaiah Lee. And they said he's an aspiring rapper. He goes by the name of No Name Trapper. And he had a song back in 2020 that was actually called Dave Chappelle.
Joke, left it look at the joke, get a bit big balls. I'm laughing roll into the boat. Welcome right to the vote. 3 million right into the vote. Wanna get the bit big balls. Get the big balls. Play with yourself, not a balls. Looking like Joe.
It's pretty horrible. It's pretty bad.
According to reports, he was arrested on a charge of assault with a deadly weapon. At the time of the attack, he did have a replica gun with a knife hidden inside, and he's still in jail with the bail set at $30,000. Fortunately, Dave Chappelle was not injured in that incident. It was unexpected, and according to Dave Chappelle's rep, Carla Sims, They had this to say in a statement. The performances by Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl were epic and record-breaking, and he refuses to allow last night's incident to overshadow the magic of this historic moment. Dave Chappelle celebrated 4 nights of comedy and music, setting record-breaking sales for a comedian at the Hollywood Bowl. This run ties Chappelle with Monty Python for the most headline shows by any comedian at the Hollywood Bowl, reaching 70,000 fans of diverse backgrounds during the first Netflix is a Joke the festival, and he refuses to allow last night's incident to overshadow the magic of this historic moment.
Well, I love you, Carla, but too bad. It did. Okay? It just did. It's going to be way more people talking about that because it actually is a great situation, right? And I'm going to talk about it more during Donkey today. But I love seeing people have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Don't you?
How did his arm get like that? I never seen somebody with an arm like that, though. Like his arm was like...
Because one of Dave's security guards is that guy, that security guard who be online showing people all those moves on how to defend yourself.
The Detroit dude?
Yeah.
Oh.
You ain't know that?
Yo, his arm was like... It looked like he had two left arms the way it
I loved it. I love seeing it.
It was ill.
I love seeing people have to deal with the consequences of their actions.
Me too.
And he got jail time. His bail's too low, though. $30,000, that's too low.
All right.
That's too low a bail.
Well, they said he was dragged off the stage. He was wearing a backpack. And
he's lucky he wasn't shot.
Would have been justified.
I'm with it.
All right, now Ray J is talking about that sex tape with Kim Kardashian, and he did an interview with the Daily Mail where he talks about what really happened. He said Kim Kardashian kept leaked sex tapes, quote unquote leak, in a Nike shoebox under her bed, and he says after 14 years in the shadows, he is going to finally speak out. So he said, I've sat in the shadows allowing the Kardashians to use my name, abuse my name, make billions of dollars talking about a topic I've never really spoken about. He said that she has always been in possession of all the sex tapes that she made with Ray J. He has never owned any copies of them. They were never leaked. He said it was a business partnership between him, Kim, and Kris Jenner. And this is all because Kim Kardashian on her new Hulu show said that she was worried that he might have a tape that he would leak. So he said he was outraged that she had claimed on the show that he might have a tape showing him putting a dildo in her butt while she slept. He said, that makes me sound like a rapist. So then he also revealed some some DMs between the two of them where he actually addressed her about that, where she said, if you're upset about the dildo comment, it was clearly a sarcastic joke, and I was laughing when I said it. And by the way, since that tape was released in 2007, the sales for that have reached an estimated $100 million worldwide.
Well, I do know that if you have a celebrity sex tape and you try to sell it to someone like Vivid, which put out the Ray J and Kim tape, they have to have consent from everyone that's on the tape. That I know. Like, I've seen a third party try to sell a tape to Vivid, and Vivid said they couldn't purchase it without consent of the people on the tape.
And they'll get sued, and they would have to take it down. Now, Ray J said, he told the Daily Mail in the messages, which he also gave to them, which we have as well, Kim did try to smooth things over, suggesting PR strategies to, quote, make me feel better. He said, I felt like this was her only chance to try and make this right. In the text, I demand her to call me immediately or I'm going to go and tell my story. So she responds immediately with all of these different plans and ideas that will make me feel better. At the same time, you're telling the whole world that I'm a horrible person and I haven't spoken to you, and how could I do this to you? If you look at the DMs, you can see that she's continuing to try to keep me in a box. Only what she can do to make me feel better after they killed my name, only because she knows everything I'm saying is true. She never denied on those DMs anything that I've told her. He asked her, how do I explain my daughter? This is a lie. If you're worried about your family, what about my family? And he said he is expecting repercussions for speaking out and telling his side of the story, but he says he feels relieved to have finally given his side. He said, now that I'm a father, it kills my soul to think my daughter would have to go through life thinking her dad was something that he wasn't. You can't give me any money. You can't pay me back for my life. You can't pay me for honesty and truth. You can't pay me any money or apologize to me for any of that. You have to be honest with yourself at this point. I don't need an apology. I have proof.
This is wild, man. Can you imagine?
Imagine what?
You selling your daughter's personal porn tape to make some money? Like, is it that low? Is that family that evil? And people, there was no way.
Oh, wait a minute. You acting like Kim wasn't grown at the time. Don't act like Kim was a child. So, I mean,
it was the three of them.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, but you're still selling your daughter's porn tape. I don't care if my daughter's 50.
But what if she wanted to?
That's still wild.
Now, people with direct knowledge told TMZ that Kris Jenner didn't actually negotiate with Vivid Entertainment. But they're saying that Ray J and Kim dealt with Vivid directly and with their lawyers. So he does still
that's true,
maintain
too.
that Chris and Kim did come up with the whole plot to make and sell a sex tape because of the enormous financial success of Paris Hilton's sex tape. But they said Kris Jenner was hands off making the actual deal and did not contact Vivid.
Once again, if you have a celebrity sex tape and you try to sell it to someone like Vivid, they have to have consent from everybody that's on the tape.
Now, as for money, they're saying that Kim and Ray J split a $1 million advance, and together they got 49% of the profits from the tape. That translates to around $49 million because that tape did make $100 million in sales.
I wonder if they got royalties.
Do you get royalties from porn?
They should, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess $100 million in sales, isn't that kind of royalties? If they split.
No, I'm saying, I wonder if they
49%?
got royalties off the $100 million.
Yeah, they made $49 million.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. They got 49% of the profits from the tape. In addition to that $1 million advance, they got $49 million.
Because that porn tape is on every porn site.
No, I want to know, does that change your perspective, money man? As much money as you like to make?
No, it doesn't.
$49 million?
It doesn't matter. That's still your daughter. And when they get to an age where they have kids, your kids got to see that later on.
She was grown, though. It's not like she was a kid. She
And
was
it's
well
not
over 20
even
years
just
old.
the money from that tape. That led to them really...
Is it worth the money? You act like it's all right. Is that worth the money for y'all?
Some people it might be.
What happened? What you mean, what happened? Like, what happened? What did they do?
Like billionaires
Yeah, what
now.
did they do so wrong? Like, what happened with their lives? When you say it wasn't worth it, like, what happened?
I don't think it was worth it. There was no way I would want a porn tape out there that my kids would see when they would get older.
And it's kind of softcore. It's not like hardcore.
No, it was hardcore.
I don't know about that.
All right.
All right, well, that is...
It was not hardcore.
Your rumor report.
Okay.
What do you consider hardcore?
Well,
it was a penis?
Envy might consider that hardcore.
Sheesh. That's wild. Nobody else sees that wild?
I mean, no, because she was grown.
She definitely
You say child, but she wasn't a child at all.
All right, well, that is your
She
rumor
was
report.
20-something years old.
Your daughter will be 25 in that.
Guys, we gotta go.
I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying she was 20-something years old. She made a decision as a grown woman. And
Donkey of the day coming up next. Who you giving your donkey to?
Her mom went along with it, I guess.
All right. Well, who are you giving your donkey to?
Isaiah Lee needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Angela Yee here from my friends at the General Insurance. Switch to the General and you could save over $500 on your car insurance. Call 800-GENERAL or visit thegeneral.com to find out more. The General Auto Insurance Services, Inc., an insurance agency in Nashville, Tennessee. Some restrictions.
Charlamagne, say the gang, don't get other Charlamagne.
You are a donkey.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
Donkey of the Day does not discriminate.
I might not have the song of the day, but I got the donkey of the day.
So if you ever feel I need to be a donkey, man, hit me with the heat.
Yeah, it's the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's donkey of the day today?
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Thursday, May 5th goes to 23-year-old Isaiah Lee and the security at the Hollywood Bowl. If you don't know who Isaiah Lee is, he is the man, or should I say person, because I don't know what he identifies as, who got pummeled, mollywopped, got their whole block knocked off at the Hollywood Bowl because he was in the audience at Netflix's A Joke and decided to rush the stage armed with a blade-firing fake gun. Never even heard of such thing. And that is the reason the Hollywood Bowl is getting some of this biggest hee-haw, because how did Isaiah Lee get into the venue with a blade-firing replica gun? More on that in a moment, but let's go to ABC 7 for the report, please.
Make some noise for hip-hop history.
A cell phone camera in the audience captures the moment a man runs on stage at the Hollywood Bowl and tackles comedian Dave Chappelle. Chappelle falls back but frees himself as security rushes on stage to grab the attacker. Exclusive video from Air 7 HD shows 23-year-old Isaiah Lee being rushed to a local hospital after the incident. Police say he was armed with a knife.
I am going to kill them.
Chappelle was not injured in the attack and later joked with the audience about it.
Wait, I gotta see that.
Authorities now charging the 23-year-old with assault with a deadly weapon.
And Lee's bail set at $30,000. A security guard here at the Hollywood Bowl did tell me the weapon in question was actually made out of plastic. Now, police haven't confirmed that information, but it would explain how he was able to get it through the metal detectors.
Now, Chris Rock made a joke after this washing happened. He said, "Was that Will Smith?" Well, it wasn't, because Will Smith would have been allowed to stay and nobody would have laid a finger on him. But seriously, these are much different circumstances than the Will Smith situation. And if watching Will put hands on Chris Rock at the Oscars was traumatizing to some comedians, Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, then this incident right here might make you consider retirement. Okay? See, we know why Will Smith was, at the Oscars. We even know why Will reacted the way he did. Doesn't make any of it right, but we have some understanding. Okay, there was history between Chris Rock and Will Smith. Will clearly snapped. He had enough of the jokes, and he reacted emotionally, and he made a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake, and Chris Rock did not deserve that. But once again, we have an understanding of that situation, and that situation is only going to happen once in a generation. Okay, do you think we will ever see one of the biggest stars in Hollywood on his biggest night when he's going to win an Oscar, walk on stage and slap another superstar at the Oscars? Do you really think we will ever see that again? Probably not. But what happened at the Hollywood Bowl could literally happen every night. Okay, some human, for whatever reason, decided to rush the stage and assault you. That could happen every night. Comedians, trust me when I tell you, it's a higher percentage you run into an Isaiah Lee before you run into a Will Smith. And based off that, my first observation is, how does Isaiah Lee get into that venue with that blade-firing knife? You know how I tell y'all all the time, we as humans are the first line of defense against crazy, simply by our behavior. Every day we are trusting other humans to be able to control themselves, to be able to act right, to keep us safe. So when we in these venues, when we in these establishments, especially as a performer, I am trusting you, the venue, to keep crazy to a minimum. Okay, everyone should be searched properly. Why? Because we have to make sure to keep everyone safe. Hollywood Bowl, y'all failed every single person in that venue, not just Dave Chappelle. Because if you can get in with a replica of a gun, you probably can get in with a real one. That man actually tackled Dave. What if he would have charged Dave with the knife drawn? I know we can all look back and say, I'm glad that didn't end horribly, but it could have, all because of the negligence of the security at the venue. What if Dave would have got stabbed in the stomach? What if he would have got stabbed in the neck? If that would have happened, this conversation would have been totally different, and more people would be talking about the failure of the building. Now, you heard the security guard at the venue. He did tell ABC7 this. Listen.
The weapon in question was actually made out of plastic.
Maybe.
Now, police haven't confirmed that information, but it would explain how he was able to get it through the metal detectors.
Yeah, hasn't been confirmed, but they said it was plastic. I saw the pics. Knife didn't look plastic to me, but whatever. You're still getting some of this hee-haw because clearly security at the venue was lacking, and I know this for 3 reasons. 1, because he got in with this replica gun and knife. 2, it's way too much cell phone footage from this incident. If you've ever been to a Dave Chappelle show, then you know they treat your phone like a weapon. Okay, everybody's phone gets confiscated. So I'm seeing way too many cell phone angles, which lets me know folks weren't doing their job. And the third reason I know they weren't doing their job, security, is because audience members said so. Audience members said the venue security was non-existent. Okay, end quote. Now, Isaiah Lee, 23 years old of LA, simple question, brother. Why? He actually recorded a song called Dave Chappelle that he posted in June of 2020. And according to trusted news outlet Fox News, he says in the song, walking straight into the bowl. Can we hear some of that, Red?
Walking straight into the bowl.
Oh. Can I hear some of the hook of the Dave Chappelle thing? We got to hear that? We don't got that?
Play.
I'm laughing, she's a joke. I'm laughing, it's a joke. I'm getting a bit basement balls. I'm laughing, roll into the bowl.
Okay.
Welcome right to the
You gonna play that in the mix with me?
No.
You're not gonna play that in the mix?
No.
Okay. Listen, I know we live in an era where folks love clout. Folks love attention. Folks want to go viral by any means necessary. They don't care how their name shows up in Google searches as long as it shows up. So this dude, Isaiah Lee, is probably loving the attention. Not just loving the attention, but probably thinking about how he can profit off of this, okay? Whether it's a lawsuit or another song, I don't know, charging for an interview, who knows? All I know is drop on the clues bombs for Dave Chappelle's team for beating his monkey ass, okay? It brought me great joy to see that human on that gurney, swollen, bleeding, arm on backwards, handcuffed. Not because I love violence, not because I want to see him hurt, none of that. I enjoyed it because everyone has to deal with the consequences of their actions. This generation thinks it's no consequences. So when I see people receive consequences like that, okay, getting beat up and jail time, oh, it warms my heart, okay?
Me too.
His bail is too low, though. $30,000 is too low. In fact, he should have no bail. No bail. And every time he goes to the toilet, they should handcuff his good arm. So when he poops and has to wipe, it has to be with the bad arm. Wouldn't you just love to see that? That's what I want to see go viral. Record that. Oh, I love it. The moral of the story is, this is proof that there are always consequences to your actions. Before you act, make sure you're prepared for them. Please give Isaiah Lee the biggest hee-haw. Matter of fact, let Remy Ma give Isaiah Lee the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw.
You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
There you go.
I ain't mad at it. Anytime you jump on stage, you should get your ass whooped just like that.
I love
just
seeing
like that.
Consequences to people's actions.
You jump, and now every comedian, every artist that's performing, somebody jump on stage, they're gonna be traumatized because they're gonna think it's a guy with a gun with a knife on it.
That should traumatize you. Like I said, the Will Smith situation, you're not gonna see that, but maybe once in a generation, depending on what multiverse you're in. But Isaiah Lee, you're more likely to run into that. So it's good to see him deal with the consequences of his actions.
All right, well, up next, Ask Ye. 800-585-1051. You need relationship advice or any type of advice, call Ye now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
What you want to know? Baby mama issues? Need some words of wisdom? Call up now for Ask Ye. 800-585-1051. The Breakfast Club. Come on. Need relationship advice? Need personal advice? Just need real advice. Call up now for Ask Ye. Keep it real.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. It's time for Ask Ye. Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's William from Georgia.
Hey, William. What's your question for Yee?
Well, once again, good morning, Envy, Charlamagne, Yee.
Good morning.
Yee.
Yes.
I have been with my woman for 7 years.
Okay.
And I want to propose to her. I love her to death. She's a great woman. But one of my issues is that her children or her child is just so disrespectful, not motivated. 21 years old, still lives at home. And I try to motivate her, but she's just pretty much, my mom's going to take care of everything. I don't want to work and this and that. And that's a big issue with me.
What does what does your woman say, your soon-to-be fiance say when you talk to her about it?
When I talk to her about it, she's like, oh, that's my baby, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then she just brushes it off.
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, I would think at 21 years old that her daughter would want to move out soon at some point.
But you know, when mom is like, oh, that's my baby and I'll take care of her no matter what. But I grew up a different way.
Yeah.
You know, hey, look, you get to a certain age, you need to either be in school or be in the military.
Well, look, like you said, that's key. You grew up a different way, and different people raise their kids in different ways. Some people are like, I grew up like this. I want my kids to have, everything, and I want to make sure that I'm there to support them, and they don't have to do certain things. It's really hard to tell somebody what to do with their own child, but you guys are trying to be a family, and what you can do is be supportive in what it is that she wants to do, but offer suggestions also in a positive way.
Okay.
You can't tell somebody what you're doing is wrong, but what you can say is it is affecting our relationship.
Right.
And have these conversations, because I think sometimes we try to tell people what they're doing. This is what I do, so that's what you need to do. That's not necessarily true.
Okay. I got you.
And I do hope that you guys can work through these things, but I think, it's an issue with the mom that you can't, there's a 21-year-old child who's been raised this way her whole life. And that's what the moms are doing her whole life. It's hard to tell somebody, do something different. Because what if it was the other way around and you had a child and she was telling you, oh, no, don't do that. Don't tell your child they have to do this. You would be like, no, that's what I'm doing.
I got you. I got you.
But I do think that you guys should be open to hearing each other out and just maybe some suggestions, but in a positive, supportive manner.
Okay. I'll try that.
Okay.
All right.
Congratulations. How you going to propose?
Oh, I got it set up in about 2 weeks. We're going to go to the beach down in Florida.
Okay. You remember, it ain't got to be you against the daughter, okay? Y'all about to be a family. You got to figure out a way to integrate things.
Right. I got you, Yee.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your advice.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
Ask Ye. 800-585-1051. If you need relationship advice or any type of advice, call Ye now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Get some real advice with Angela Yee. It's Ask Ye.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're in the middle of Ask Ye. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this Tho, THO.
Hey, what's your question for Ye?
Hey, I wanted to ask, 1 year, you've been with a female for 8 years. You have a child together, everything. And I love her to death, but it's two things. It's like sexually, we not clicking. Like it's just not doing it for me. Like sometimes I be having to. Like one time y'all was talking about faking orgasms. Sometimes I be having to fake it with her, just to you know what I mean? Get through the session. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And another thing is she not motivated to make like I got 2 jobs. You feel me? I got 2 jobs and I do hustling on the side, hustling things. She don't want to do nothing. Like she just wanna work. But then I got another chick. I with her tough, but we have excellent sexual chemistry, and she a hard worker. She got 2 jobs and everything. But my baby mama, she sweet, she nice, she never did nothing to me, and I love her to death.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know what to do.
So you love her to death, but you physically are not attracted to her, and part of that might be the fact that you feel like she's not motivated enough, and you're not attracted to the fact that she lacks ambition.
Yes, exactly.
And then on top of that, now you started messing with somebody else and you're comparing these 2 women, and you found somebody that you like certain qualities in her better, and you're comparing that to your long-term girlfriend and children's mother.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
When did things get worse for you and your girlfriend sexually?
I can't really just pinpoint it. It's probably like maybe like halfway through, a little bit halfway through. You feel me? Like it's just like she don't want to do nothing. Like even when we had sex, it's like she don't want to lay there. It's like I didn't talk to her before about it. We had conversations before about it, but it's just like. And
she didn't used to be like that. Things changed at some point.
Exactly. It started changing after she get comfortable and she had the child and it's just like, oh yeah, come on, you feel me? And it's like that. And I'm you know what I mean? I like sex, so it's like. Mm-hmm. I like to, do different things, you know what I mean? And the other girl, she like me when it comes down to that. So it's like.
And you said it was kind of after she had the child that things changed in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Because a woman's body and her hormones can change after that.
Yeah, but I mean, but other females, they have children and let it change. So
yeah, but it doesn't happen to everybody. But it can happen. You know what I mean? So it could be other things that's on her mind, bothering her. Maybe she's unhappy with her work also. Like you said, you feel like she's not ambitious, but is she doing what she wants to do?
Yeah, like she, but that's what I'm saying. We had conversations. Like I work hard. Like I work crazy. Like I work 10-hour day, both jobs sometimes. Like I go hard, very hard. You feel me? And it's like she just like. She always complained about, I don't have enough, I don't do this, woo. But it's like, but you're not doing nothing to change that.
Right, and now you like somebody else. I just want to give you this advice because I can't tell you, to leave somebody or stay with somebody. But I will say, don't compare these 2 women to each other. They're in different situations. Focus on your relationship and whether or not you want to be with that person. Don't leave one person for another. So separate the 2 situations, okay? Other than what this woman is, who is your side piece is providing for you. Yeah, usually when people have a side piece, that's fun. You're not having the issues of having a relationship. That's your escape from the problems that you're having with your woman. So you got to separate those 2 things and just focus on, okay, can I fix this with her? I'm not comparing her to what this other woman is doing because we don't have a child together. We haven't been together. We're not comfortable. I don't know what's going on with that. But in your situation, can this be fixed? And if it can't, it's not fair to you to stay with somebody who you say you love her to death, but then you're cheating on her. Imagine how things are going to change if she ever finds that out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of afraid of. It's like because like with the other chick, it's like let's just say let me give you an example. Let's just say I want something, right? And we just talking. You feel me? And I'm like, oh, I want a pair of shoes. You feel me? The other girl be like, oh well, if I don't have all the money for it, I'll give you half of the money. Opposed to my baby mama is like, oh, well, figure it out. If you want, you got to give me a sale.
Like I said, trust me and believe. There's other women. First of all, she knows she's a side chick, right? She know you got a woman.
Yeah.
So already, she's purposefully doing these things, okay? So let's be clear. She knows you have a woman. And so already, she's wrong for that. Trust and believe. As amazing as you think she is, the fact that she's messing with you knowing that you're in a relationship makes her not so amazing, number one. But You know what I'm saying? So don't fall into that. But number 2, forget about that. Focus on your relationship and what the problems are. Don't cheat on this woman. I would rather you decide not to be with her for now so that you're not doing that, because she will be devastated. And I don't know if your relationship can be repaired. You know? So you got to think like that. You don't want to hurt her. So if you don't want to hurt her and you love her to death, be honest with her. And if you feel like, look, this is not a situation I want to be in, I'm sneaking around, I'm going to cheat regardless, then don't be with her. You're not forced to be in a relationship.
Okay, yeah. You're
But
right.
understand, she might end up being with somebody else. And if you feel like you can handle that, you know, that's on you. But just remember that.
It's hard because of the child. Like, I love my son more than anything in this world. So it's kind of hard.
Well, if you love your son, then you got to be honest with the mom. You can still love your son and have a good relationship and be a great dad. But if you're treating his mom like that and he ever finds that out one day, think about how devastating that is for your family.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to be a good role model for your son. You love your son, do the right thing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you, Anthony.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, ask ye 800-585-1051. Now we got rumors on the way?
Yes, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will tell you who will be inducted this year.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
This is a random room, bro. Y'all can hear the behind the scenes
Very
conversation.
random room.
I mean, random.
Very random.
Random.
You just can't even talk about basketball anymore without just being random.
What? What's bothering you?
It's just random. That's all. Go ahead, share.
Okay.
Yeeves was wilder, though. Oh, not really. It was all the same. It was all the same level of wildness. Never mind.
Yeah, let's just leave it alone.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, let's get to the rumors. What we talking?
Why are you flustered?
Because you stupid and I hate y'all. Let's go. Let's get to the rumors. Go.
This is the
Tease
Rumor
nothing.
Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
All right. Well, Vanessa Bryant has announced that these Kobe and Gianna Bryant courts will be cropping up at a local park near you. They have plans to renovate basketball courts across the country with Mamba and Mambacita themes. So she posted that on her Instagram page. That is going to be done in collaboration with Body Armor and the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. 10 courts throughout the United States will be renovated, and they'll have nods to Kobe and Gigi.
Love it. Keep the legacy alive, man.
L.A., Philly, D.C., Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Miami, Phoenix, and Detroit.
I was watching this video yesterday with like a reel with Kobe talking about his daughter carrying on his legacy in basketball. Lord have mercy, boy. You cannot watch those and not your eyes don't water.
All right, and a new reality series is going to be featuring Jada Cheese, Ari Fletcher, and Malibu Mitch. The Jasmine brand exclusively reports it's a new non-scripted series that's allegedly in the works at BET. It'll follow the lives of young socialites living in the city. So it could be interesting. I'm sure a lot of people are going to watch that. So shout out to them. I actually had Malibu Mitch and Ari Fletcher on lip service before.
Okay.
All right, now Anderson .Paak is going to be directing a comedy drama called K-Pops, and he's going to star in it also alongside his son. It's going to basically tell the story of a washed-up musician who travels to Korea to write for K-pop stars, discovering that his long-lost son is set to front one of the country's hottest new groups. And, you know, his mom is from Korea, but she was adopted, so he said he never knew anything about his Korean heritage until he met his wife. Janelle Monáe is going to be portraying Josephine Baker in a TV series, and it's called De la Résistance. And so that'll be really dope to see Josephine Baker's role as a spy for the Allies during the French resistance, helping defeat the Nazis, and her experience as one of the world's most iconic, talented, and glamorous entertainers.
Big role, Janelle. Dropping the clues bomb for Janelle Monáe.
I love her acting.
Got to body that one.
And you know, Joey Badass wasn't paid for Two Distant Strangers, and he actually had to go to therapy after starring in that Oscar-winning short film. He said he did it because it was a lot of internalization. He had to go to therapy. He said, I remember the first scene in the movie when I'm coming out of the girl's apartment and Please See Me, and they slam me on the floor. I remember shooting that in real time, and it was people driving by. They would stop and they would roll down their windows and be like, yo, is this real or is this for a movie? What's going on? You good? He said it's traumatic for those innocent bystanders as well.
I can imagine. I'm sure he got something on the back end, though, right?
Yeah, he said, it was supposed to be a feature originally. He didn't get paid. It was a project, an experiment. He said, once I got involved, it activated a lot of people. Once they saw my execution, everybody wanted to be a part of the production team. And that's what helped get it that push. All right, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for 2022. The inductees were announced yesterday, and some of the inductees include Lionel Richie, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Eminem, Dolly Parton, Carly Simon, Harry Belafonte, Duran Duran, Eurythmics, Pat Benatar, and Judas Priest. So congratulations to all of them.
All of those individuals deserve to get in, but I really wish they would take the rock and roll off of that and just call it the Music Hall of Fame. Right? Because it's just like, what about all the other genres? I mean, that ain't rock and roll.
Now, some other people who
Lionel Richie ain't rock and roll.
Some other people who could have made it, but they didn't this year, and they definitely deserved it. Tribe Called Quest.
Definitely
Hip hop
make it.
all day.
Fela Kuti, Dionne Warwick.
Oh, come on now.
Yep.
Devo, Kate Bush, all of them. They didn't get enough votes at this induction, but we got to make sure they get in.
Drop the rock and roll. Just call it the Music Hall of Fame.
All right, well, that is your rumor reports.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. The People's Choice Mix is up next. And again, shout out to Houston, everybody that's heading out to my car show on Father's Day weekend. It's a perfect Father's Day gift. June 19th is Houston versus New York City. Get your tickets. I'm just talking celebrity cars, exotic cars, carnival rides, amusement rides and games. And it's going to be a family fun day. So get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. My whole family's heading out there. And Gia and myself would also be signing copies of our book as well. So hope to see you there. And the mix is up next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Our audible pick of the day is Finding Tamika from Kevin Hart, myself, Charlamagne the God, and Queen Erica Alexander in Color Farm Media. This series focuses on missing black women and the system that ignores them. Sign up for a free 30-day Audible trial at audible.com/breakfast club.
WWPR FM HD1 New York.
An iHeart radio station.
Let me put a little bit of the breakfast.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Shanti Das.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, Shanti. We were talking about this being your 5th year anniversary here on the Breakfast Club.
I mean, where's the champagne? Like, we got some bottles back.
We can pop it.
We need to pop something.
We really do need to get more celebratory.
I know.
Talk about mental health.
Around like, what we got? We got some wine.
Hey.
We do have some wine.
No, I'm kidding.
But I do want to say that I've seen a huge difference since you started coming up here up until now, in the past 5 years, even with people not being ashamed and wanting to talk more about mental health.
Oh, I hope that our organization and
Absolutely.
some of the stuff I've been saying have been able to help normalize that conversation.
Well, how are you, first of all?
You know, I'm okay. I don't know if y'all know, but I lost my mother.
Yeah.
Late January. I feel like it's always a reoccurring theme with me healing. I'm good this morning. Let me just say that. And I take that one day at a time. I no longer try to just sugarcoat how I'm feeling. And if I'm having a tough day, I'll say that. I was just on a panel on Friday, shout out to Dr. Chelsea Clinton at the Clinton Foundation, and I wasn't having a good day that morning. And I felt stressed and anxious, but I prayed about it and I just tried to recenter myself. And, you know, I just, have to figure out ways now to keep myself moving forward. That's why healthy coping mechanisms are important, because we all struggle every day in some form or fashion. But the key is to have ways to cope through it in a healthy way.
Yeah, what are some of your coping mechanisms?
So like for me, as I mentioned, like, I just got up and I prayed that morning, and not to impose my faith. So if you believe in the universe or you just want to get outside and immerse yourself in nature, I think nature is a great way to center yourself. I go outside, I take walks. I drink tea, really, because tea is really soothing. I'll exercise. I have a stationary bike. And also I might call a girlfriend and just like reminisce and laugh.
Can we talk about grief a little bit more?
Please,
because,
yes.
People, I think one of the biggest lies we ever told ourselves was time heals all wounds in regards to grief. I don't believe that anymore.
Can I just speak candidly? Like,
please.
Grief is a up journey sometimes for some. It's really tough. I'm still getting over the loss of my sister, which last week made 3 years for her. And I think we all feel like, okay, we grieve, you got all this influx of calls and messages and posts, peace be with you, prayers to your family that first week, right? And then you're trying to get everything planned and the services and it's hectic. And then that next week, when all the phone calls stop and people aren't calling and you got to sit in that grief, it's a lot. And some people internalize it and bury it and act like, okay, funeral's over, I'm done. Society tells me I got to snap back out of it and get back to work. That's some bull. We have to process through our grief and we have to allow ourselves to go through it. That's why you might see an ugly cry on my IG, every now and then, because I feel like being transparent. And the thing about grief it's okay to sit in it. You just can't stay in it. But you got to be able to sit in the valley and go through it. It's no way around it. And no two people grieve the same.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in therapy, which is, I'm so proud of myself. I've been in therapy, nonstop for 6 months. And that's new for me because sometimes I'll start and stop and I think, okay, I'm doing this work. I know how to cope. But that's a lie too.
Mm-hmm.
I have this great book that I read called The Gift of Grief. And it's by Dr. Ajetta Robinson. And it just talks about allowing yourself the grace and space that you need. I just feel like we have to create safe spaces and we have to give more grace to people when they're grieving.
We do. You never know what somebody's going through, too. You can
And
look at
it could be 10 years later. And I talk to people when I share stuff about my mom, and I got so many people posting or leaving comments saying, yo, my mom's been dead 10 years and my pop's been dead 15 years. And I still find myself, I could be at a red light or I hear a song and I just want to cry. And what I'll say to you is cry. Let it out.
That's right.
Like, tears are therapeutic. It's like water to your soul.
That's the biggest thing, right? Because every therapist will tell you, feel your feel. So it's like
100%.
we get overwhelmed with these emotions and we act like that's wrong. Like, no.
Right.
Like, you're grieving.
For sure.
Let it out.
You gotta let it out. And not a lot of people understand the grief journey and how it equates to our overall mental health and wellness.
I was going to say it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to talk about what Silence the Shame is doing because we want to make sure, of course, that we're letting people know how they can participate and support.
And Silence the Shame Day is May 5th today.
May 5th today. We're so excited. So we have this wonderful national campaign going on. You can go to our site or go to our Instagram page, and we have a link to an actual virtual frame so you can upload your own photo, and there's ways to give. You can text the word silence to 707070, or you can go to our website and donate. And we're just celebrating all of this great stuff that we've done. Shout out to Senator Anderson and Deanna Hamilton in Atlanta. Governor Kemp signed a resolution for us designating May 1st, which was just this past Sunday, as Black Children's Mental Health Day in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
And we're trying to take that to other states. Shout out New York. We want to be able to do that and recognize that. And we want to take it federal. So maybe our organizations can partner on that. Also, we're doing wellness seminars. We've partnered with Sony Music Publishing and John Platt. And so we've created these workplace wellness trainings for anybody that works in radio or the community at large and music industry. You can get those for free. I also partnered with Atlanta Influences Everything to create some special shirts for the month of May. And that's a big cultural brand in Atlanta. Yeah. So it says Atlanta Influences Mental Health.
Oh, that's
And then our logo's on the side. And so a portion of those proceeds will go to us. And then I also this week when I was in New York, I did a talk at the Pinterest office with Kenneth Cole. And he has the Mental Health Coalition that we're all a part of. And they're doing great work. We just have so much stuff going
Shanti,
on.
you are no joke. I just want to say, all the work that you've been doing for all these years.
Thank you.
Based off of your own experiences is so important. Being able to help others and to see through, everything that you've been through and are still going through daily, and just using those experiences, and people can relate to you so much.
Thank you. That means a lot. Because I was telling the young lady, Katie, that's with me that works for us, and shout out to the STS team, that, sometimes when I see my friends and colleagues from music, I'll be lying if I said, what would life have been like had I stayed, at the labels, and, all of my friends are like presidents of labels and running their own companies. But I am so proud of where I am right now and the fact that I can accept, God's will over my life. I had to take this charge. It was like an assignment for my life. So I feel like he put you in rooms where you need to be. And I was somebody that could come, I think, into this space, into, dealing with athletes and dealing with entertainers and that sort of thing. And they'll be okay with talking about it.
Right.
Even when you talk about not being in the music industry no more, just think about how God works. The music industry needs people like you more than ever right now.
Thank you so much.
So who would reach back to these rappers? Who would reach back to these artists if they weren't somebody who was already in that to know what they're going through?
Yeah, thank you for saying that too. We did a talk at TSU in Houston. My girl Shannon set up, and I spoke to the artist Mona Leo. I think she's been on the show before. Has Mona Leo been on the show before? I don't know. Anyway, but she's a dope rapper from Houston, and she really opened up and was very transparent. And on a Friday afternoon on a college campus, we had 60 students talking about mental health and opening up in ways that I can't even explain to you. But Mooski has been on the show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mooski actually is doing something with us on Saturday. We're doing a teen wellness clinic. We're getting 100 teens in Atlanta together. We're going to do wellness and yoga and fireside chats. I'm going to be talking to him. And so, I think I am that person to bridge the gap between culture and mental health and wellness. And I just love what I do. And we honored you last year at our gala. We have our gala coming up on May 14th, a Brilliant Mind Gala. Dallas Austin, the music producer, is our co-chair. It's hosted by Q Parker from 112. And we're honoring NFL player Chris Hubbard from the Cleveland Browns, who has his own mental health foundation, and also Marcus Smith, who's a former player. So I love music and sports, so I think it's so dope for me to be able to go back into these spaces and really open up these conversations in an authentic way so people don't feel embarrassed or ashamed. Because like I said, I'm still healing.
Right.
And one of the things I just want to say, and I hope you can support us on this too, Silence the Shame just launched an initiative called Healing in Public. And that's really how we should look at it, because we all got to get up and go to work.
That's right.
We got jobs. You got to show up. But you show up as you're healing in public, and that's okay. So you allow yourself to be unapologetic. You give yourself the grace that you need. And so if I do tell someone I'm not having a bad day, that no one will put shame on me because I am, quote unquote, healing in public.
Well, Shanti, always amazing to have you. I know we do this to honor you and to make sure we bring light to Silence the Shame every single year. But you do that work 365 days.
Yes,
so we
she does.
appreciate you for that.
And I need you for the Mental Wealth Expo again this year.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it bigger. And we want to do something in Atlanta with you too.
Let's do it. Especially around them kids, man. Like that's that initiative we have to get.
So the
nationwide.
COPE Clinic, we're trying to take and do in other states, and as well as honoring Black Children's Mental Health Day. So we're already talking to an organization about California. So, brother, let's join forces and let's get all these states to do it.
Absolutely. Let's do it. It's Shanti Das, Silence the Shame. National Silence the Shame Day is the day.
Text, tweet, donate. All that today.
Very important to donate.
70, 70, 70.
Yes.
Text silence to 70, 70, 70.
Thank you, Shanti Das, for joining us. Now you got a positive note?
The positive note is simply this, man. Be kind to yourself today. Be kind to yourself, especially what you tell yourself. Support yourself instead of finding ways to on yourself. It's impossible to win if you're not on your own team.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?